Hello, hello, this is Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts, and I am back to work on, sorry about the noise, I'm back to work on just some mixed media. I'm just playing today. I bought myself a new art journaling pad. I like to paint in large areas. I'm terrible with little areas. I can make it little, but I need the space in case my brain says make it big. So this is a 14-inch by 11-inch mixed media, accepts wet and dry media. It's a rather heavy weight. It says it's 110 pounds. It feels a little thinner to me than normal for a mixed media paper, and it is in an off-white. So not always my favorite. But I'm going to paint on it anyway, or cover it in paper, one of the two. One of the things I did want to do was, I have all these little cards, and when I originally ordered them, I really thought that they were like a 3x4 or something like that. And they definitely came as a little tiny 1 by 1.5. 1.5 by 1 inch. So I'm just going to put them down on here with my matte gel medium, and I just bought a new formula at Hobby Lobby, and it's Master's Touch. And of course I have used it. So what I'm going to do is just start putting those down on here. I don't know what that means exactly. And I may fast forward, I may do this in fast motion or slow motion. I think first I'm going to give myself a line here so I don't paint my rails this time, my spine stuff. I'm just going to give myself a line. Ta-da! Ooh, isn't that nice? What a nice pencil you are. Mm-hmm. Yummy, yummy. So I don't care if I go over that line. One thing I need to do, I can tell you right now, is I need a piece of paper under here. Now my paper may warp a little. Like I said, this is not my usual art medium paper that I use for mixed media, but I didn't really want to put it down crooked, you see. For some reason, my brain says, don't put it down crooked. So one thing is I actually tried to throw these away today. And then I went out, and I've been feeling kind of like way tired today. And so I went out and I was relaxing, and just all of a sudden I was like, oh gosh, I gotta go retrieve those from the garbage. I don't want to, but I did. And here we are. Maybe it was my muse saying, woohoo, get up, go do something. Don't let yourself get in a funky mood. Okay, I say, muse. Who knows? Maybe these are too glossy and they're not going to stick at all. Ooh, that one does not fit. Okay, well, we're coming back over here then. Let's put something over the top of that because I can see they're coming up. Completed journal. It was sure a fun one. Countryside. Very fun to do. It was the bright colors. It made me think of spring and just, everything that comes with spring, the new life springing forward. The daffodils outside my windows that are coming up. Oh man, so pretty. See them on other channels. Anyway, welcome back, my regular subscribers. I want to start doing like a mixed media or a muse on Mondays. So I had it in my head after I pulled these out of the garbage that I had to straighten them all out. get them right side up and not upside down. They were spread out through all my drawers because I'll grab them and I don't want to use them all the time. I did use them in my little pieces, the clusters. That worked out okay. But mostly when I grab them, I just toss them back in an open drawer. So they were all over the place, unfortunately. So I felt like I had to straighten them all out. I'm just going to kind of manipulate that glue. What next? Dry, 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 dry. What do we want to do next? Let's get rid of that. Okay. I think I'm going to put that one up there like that. This one here. Got a little tear right there. That's okay. It's okay. Pull these apart. I'm going to get another piece of this paper. Worst that can happen is that I'm going to paint it and turn it into something else. There we go. There's a solution for everything. Okay, so what's next? What do we do next? It's still kind of wet. Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold a minute. Okay, I have returned. It's not 100% dry, but I think it's okay. I think we'll carry on. And I think I want to bring in some flowers here. I want to put, I think, a little bit of gesso down first, though. I'm not going to throw that in there right, yeah, because I don't want it to mess up my new mat under there. Trying to keep it clean under there. See, I got all this around me, and plastic, and all kinds of goodies. Okay, modeling paste. It's also Master's Touch. I'm not fond of this Master's Touch. I think that it is a little too soft, maybe. So I think I want to go with a little bit of this first. So I'm going to start this right over here on the edge. And I'm not sure. Let's just see what happens. Let me close up my matte gel because I don't need it right now. I'm going to use this. I'm concentrating on all these holes and not going back over the same place too much, because it pulls up and it might not lay back down in the same place. Ready? That's all going to get washed off. It'll go to the tub where it will spend some lollygagging time. But I am going to wipe it off a bit. I don't clean them very often. I mean, if I put gesso and stuff on them, I do clean them off quite a bit. Okay, can you see that texture in there? Okay, we're going to add the next layer of texture. It's going to be this one. Now this has some coffee dye on it, so it may actually move into the gel medium. Don't know yet. Into the modeling paste. So I'm going to look for the stickiest side of my... No, I'm going to actually put it this way. I think we'll go here. It is going to get on the other part. That's okay. We are inventing the wheel all over again. Now this is not the best one for this bigger holes here, but we're going to try it. Oh yeah. Coffee dye's moving right into it. I like that. Won't matter anyway, because we're going to paint, probably. Oops, that was a mistake right there. You want to be careful about backing up onto these things, because you'll get color where you don't want it. I got a hair in there, I see it. Where did it go? Don't know. Now, this coffee dye is going into my modeling paste, so I'm not too worried about that. These are a little harder to do because you don't want to get your medium, you know, you want it to stick up, but if you're not careful, you'll have it sticking all over the place. Ooh, look at that. Okay. That is going to have to dry. Stick a towel between them. And, okay, I'm back. So it's dried up a little bit. Not perfect, but it is a little more dry. So I can see that I need some of this over here and some of this a little more over in here. So to get it over to here, did I bring the right stencil? I didn't. Oh no! We could put circular ones in there. Okay, I'm going to dry it for a little bit and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We're going to use this stone texture paste. It's called Graphite Dust. Got this from Shannon at Mixed Media, Minnesota, and it's by Little Birdie. Let's see what it looks like in there. Hopefully it's pasty looking. Yep, and gritty. Pasty and gritty, and yes it is. It's like, feels like cement. Just gonna clean up my doodad. This is a doodad. And I'm going to bring in this brick stone. This is also from Shannon at Mixed Media, Minnesota. It came in one of her kits. It will just go into my stencil box, so I'm going to just rip that paper off. Now, I know we've covered some of these other things, but now we're just going to add a little bit more. We'll start up here. Like this. This stuff is very gritty. I want to take the stuff off the sides and mix it in. Don't want that caught up in these things. That is for sure. Okay, now I'm not going to do all of this. I'm only going to do some of it. But I do want to start up at the top. Now this is a little harder to get down into these. Well, it goes down into them. It's a little harder to know how it's going to come out when I pull this off. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to put those right into that piece right there. I can see I could use this right up. I like this. Ooh, this is fun. Fun, fun, fun. Highly recommended. Okay, we ready? Let's lift that one. Ooh. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love it. Oh, I just got it on my face. It's going to look like I have a giant blackhead on my chin. My husband's not going to say anything. He's going to be very polite about it. My daughter, she would say, "Oh, let me get that one." That's my Oregon daughter. She's all into medical type stuff, like her dad. Dale was a medic in the Army, and later became a command sergeant major temporarily. Then he got sick, which kind of changed things. Look at that. Now what? Now what are we going to do? Now this grit one is probably going to have to go outside and get cleaned. Hope you can hear me. I don't want to run the grit paste down the sink at all. Really shouldn't run any of the paste down the sinks, down the drains, for the tub, or not that my kids didn't used to get all muddy and get washed in the tub. So, okay. Now, before I let you go for the evening, and we come back to this tomorrow, because it's going to have to dry. We're going to do something else to it here. I'm going to dry it just a little bit. I want to see if it just turns solid gray. It's very much like cement. Like cement and glue. it's going to take this a while to dry. And I do want it to stick, so don't want to dry it too fast. Okay, so before I let it go for the evening, I brought along Distress Collage Medium. And we are going to, this is nice and porous now. Now this is a crazing medium, and it will give a crackle effect, or so I think. You just never know if it will crackle or not crackle. Here we go. Oh, I don't like that brush at all. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, here we go. Let's try this one. Maybe this is too soft. I mean, too dry. No, it's fine. Duh, it's fine. So I just want to kind of bring that in there. Now, is it supposed to be on thick or thin? Adult use only. That's what our channel's for. For gluing, layering, apply directly on porous surfaces only. Dries translucent with a subtle crackle craze matte finish. Okay. So I can't remember if we're supposed to put it on thick or thin. It's been a while since I tried it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't crackle. You know. You can see I'm getting my cement in there. We won't know if it crackles until tomorrow when I check it when it's dry. And then when we put paint into it, if it's crackly, we should be able to see it. If it doesn't crackle, well, then we just added this good smelling paste to it. It smells kind of like it has I don't know, hand lotion or something. It's okay that this cement stuff is moving. It just shows that the building had cement on it at one time. Oh, it's a building. Did you hear me say that? It's a building. Look at that. It's a building. It's a crackly building. Now we just have to bring it to life. How are we going to do that? I don't know. We'll have to see tomorrow. But we do have a lot of nice bricks in there. A lot of nice cracks in the wall. maybe these are windows off into the, maybe we can see through the building. And there's little windows off into the city. I don't really know. Get that piece out of there. I don't want those over there. Okay, so I can see this little piece is trying to come up, so I'm just going to pull it off there. As the wet mediums hit the wet modeling paste, the damp modeling paste, it gets wet again, and so it moves a little more. So this is what we have for right now. Run this all the way out so you can see it. It all looks about the same. And now I'll bring you down in and give you a really close-up of the different things going on. Let's move over here. This sort of looks like stars and clouds, doesn't it? But, oh, I love that. That really came out nicely. So here we are. Hello, hello. This is Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts, and as you can see here, I have added some color into the background. First, I put down a quinacridone gold, azo gold, and I let it run through the bricks. And then I sprayed it with water and let it run through the bricks. Then I put down a layer of vintage photo, and I sprayed that and let it run through everything. And then while it was still wet, I put in some gesso so that it would kind of seal that a little bit up, all that ink. And so now I am working on the brick. Since it is definitely seems to be brick, since it definitely seems to be brick, I've decided I better make it look like a beautiful red brick. So I'm just dabbing this into this stone stuff. And if it stays black, then I think that maybe the house has had a fire. And so the lady in 3B said that yes, there was a fire at one time, but they had painted over the black brick. And so I am accommodating her because the lady in 3B is quite extraordinary. And we'll learn more about her as this painting continues. But she's a very positive character. She didn't let the fire get her down. Some of the other attendants, most of them, moved on out. But the lady in 3B, her apartment was not affected by the fire at all. And her beautiful apartment was left intact. Now, maybe the lady in 3B has some sort of extraordinary powers to go with her extraordinary lifestyle. And forgive my phone, it's really going off today. I don't really know that much about the lady in 3B, not yet. I'm learning as I go along, and I paint her apartment. Oh, I do know one thing. She actually owns 3B. Is several apartments all hooked together. And so they call it 3B because 3A has a wonderful old man living in it, and it is just a very small apartment. So there is on the third floor apartment 3A and apartment 3B. So you can see why I call her quite extraordinary, because she owns a giant apartment in this building, when the rest of the tenants that used to be there all had these little apartments. And she wasn't an owner or anything like that. She just preferred to live a wonderfully positive life. And her lifestyle, well, I guess that growing up she was used to, I don't know, maybe she had a lot or maybe she had nothing, but she worked her whole life. I really, don't know much about her before the apartment 3B. But she did tell me that she had a positive childhood. She was raised by wonderful parents that loved her very much. Her parents worked hard all their life, and so she did too. And now she's retired, and she has a business making, of all things, journals. Now, I want to dab some bright red in here right now, just because I think every once in a while a piece of brick needs to has some bright red in it. So I'm going to go back through here, and this is going to absorb into this black, the black stuff I put in here. But yeah, I just think sometimes the red really needs to be red. Even though it's just in little chunks in places. Of course, I didn't know that this lady was really living in 3B, or I probably would have bricked her whole house in red. Oh, isn't that red pretty? Almost like that better. But as it is, I didn't have the budget for bricks all over the place. So, anyway, we're fixing it up as best as we can. So, what else can I tell you about the lady in 3B? I don't know. For some reason, the lady in 3B absolutely loves this apartment. Now, obviously, she could afford a better apartment. Perhaps she's in love with the tenant in 3A. Could I suspicion that? Would that be right of me? Don't know. I need some more paint. You can see I'm just hopping into the red here now because that's what's over there. You can see that we've got some patina happening over here because brick and all that always has kind of a, I don't know, it gets this kind of patina look, doesn't it? I don't know why, but it does. I have a piece of paper there. Guess we'll leave it. Gotta add some brown to this. So this is a mixture of cadmium red hue, deep hue, and raw sienna, yes, and burnt sienna. And that's how I got this reddish, deep reddish color. And if I would put it in on a palette, perhaps it would last a little bit longer. Or maybe I should have put something in it to make it last a little bit longer. Oops. Can you hear my dog barking? She's asleep. So funny when they're sleeping and they're barking, having a good time. Anyway, I think I will continue painting the brick and I will come back to you.